with one of New England's leading holistic specialists, Mark Mincola. Call Mark at 617-822-1969 on 96.9 Boston Talks.
Welcome home, Natural Health Nation. Great to have you on board. Great for us to be with you, of course, here on 96.9 Boston Talks. And it's great to have Joanna Silverman on board. Welcome.
Thank you.
From Nourishing the Peas and the Pods.
Correct.
Tell everybody out there a little bit about Nourishing the Peas and the Pods.
Well, it's a health counseling service for moms, expecting moms, new moms, mothers, and for babies and kids. So I work with moms on their wellness, and I work with children on eating better and starting solid food.
Great project that you're involved with. And you mentioned before we went on the air, we're going to talk about homeopathy tonight. And you have a great anecdotal story about your daughter and homeopathy. Why don't you share that?
Yeah, we used that as our first means with her. And when she was about 2 years old, I had the whole homeopathic kit.
Sure.
And she was going through all the different vials. And she took all of the vials out, and then she put them all back in except for the 4 that I've ever given her. So it just shows you how you run off of energy. You know, a 2-year-old kept only the one she's ever had out.
2-year-olds have pretty remarkable instincts, no
Isn't
question.
That amazing?
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about homeopathy here at the outset. Of course, folks who are not familiar with the show, what we do is we bring in a topic at the outset of the broadcast, but we certainly welcome any and all questions regarding your natural health issues, vitamins, minerals, weight loss. A lot of folks curious about what to take for A, B, or C problems. And our phone numbers here is 617-8221-9069. Verizon wireless users, of course, it is a freebie. Dial pound 969. And we're basically, I think, playing off of the series of stories that I've been working off of this week here this evening. The blog site that we put together actually talked about homeopathy, and then we, of course, mentioned it, talked about it on our segment on Fox 25's morning program this past week. And we're going to actually follow suit this evening with a little bit more detail. But researchers at the Anderson Cancer Center at the University of Texas, just this year, 2010, recently a couple studies were published in the Journal of Oncology suggesting that there are several homeopathic medicines that were found in very micro doses to be extremely effective at killing human breast cancer and human brain cancer cells.
Oh, wow.
That's a very powerful story. And, of course, I think it's a story that takes place in the backdrop of so many different skeptics and so many different debates out there that so many folks are really either A, not familiar with homeopathy, or B, tend to really doubt its credibility. But, once again, this is a published university study published in the Journal of Oncology, and we're not just talking about sneezing and we're not talking about hay fever here. We're talking about brain cancer and breast cancer. So I think it's really a remarkable series of studies that have been performed in recent years that we're going to talk a little bit about, these two in particular. As far back as 1991, there were a number of different homeopathic medical doctors who actually evaluated a series of meta-analysis analyzing 25 years worth of homeopathic studies. These are medical doctors who practiced homeopathy. They were, let's say, dual therapists, if you will, and they basically found that 81 out of 107 trials that these medical doctors evaluated showed that homeopathy was indeed very effective for a variety of different problems. Most typically, of course, for things like allergies, seasonal allergies, childhood allergies, things such as pediatric conditions, etc. Right. So clearly that over the years we've found that a majority of these studies are indeed viable. And the real good news here is, homeopathy's been around, as we said at the outset, for quite a while, 213 years of steady growth in Europe. And we're showing a 30% growth annually here in the United States with homeopathy. So
I think the great thing is that it's safe. People need to know it cannot hurt you.
You just can't make a mistake with it. I mean, the worst thing that happens is you spend $6.75 for naught.
Right.
But we're not really looking at in terms of the world of risk-reward here. You're talking about great potential rewards, virtually no risk whatsoever. So I think that a lot of folks out there are venturing in because obviously we're talking about a $500 million a year industry right now, growing at 30% annually.
That's
People
great.
are interested in taking charge of their own health. That's the real key. Folks interested in giving us a call, those of you out there interested in taking charge of your own health, 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless users, it is a free call. Just dial pound 969. And, of course, Joanna Silverman is here with us today on the Natural Health Show, and we've got some interesting conversations upcoming. And we certainly look forward to your questions and conversations. We're going to take a short little break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Jump in Michael Graham's Lunch Line. Weekdays at noon on 96.9 Boston Talks.
This week, Michael gives you free lunch from Trattoria Il Panino on the North End. Online at trattoriailpanino.com.
Who says there's no such thing as a free lunch?
Are you getting your recommended 8 cups of water per day? And are you certain that you're getting the healthiest, highest quality of drinking water available? You know, there are so many drinking waters out there that it's become extremely difficult to distinguish the really pure drinking waters from the pretenders. Hi, this is Mark Mincola. Simpson Spring Water has been a pure drinking water of choice since long before the Native Americans settled near the spring for its remarkable clarity. Bottled at the source and delivered right to your home, Simpson Spring has produced its locally grown bounty of healthy, refreshing drinking water since 1878. Simpson Springs is a local, privately owned spring water company whose priority it is to serve you with the highest quality of pure, healthy drinking water. To order Simpson Springs water, call Roberta at 508-238-4472. That's 508-238-4472. Please make sure you mention the Natural Health Show. Remember, when it comes to your drinking water of choice, buy fresh, buy pure, buy local, buy Simpson Springs. No, when most people hear the word allergies, they think only of hay fever-like symptoms associated with airborne pollen, dust, and mold. But did you know that many experts estimate that between 60 and 80 million of us suffer from immune-related food allergies without even knowing it? Furthermore, food allergies often contribute to serious health problems such as autism, irritable bowel syndrome, ADD, headaches, and chronic ear infections. Now, there's an effective way to identify and eliminate both your food allergies and the troubling symptoms that they aggravate. Alletess Medical Labs at foodallergy.com offers a full complement of clinical, environmental, and food allergy testing to help you get to the root of your allergy problems. Alletess also provides you with a comprehensive rotation diet, lifestyle booklet, and a wallet card to help you live food allergy-free and stress-free. Do you wonder if you or your loved ones are among the 60 to 80 million food allergy sufferers in America? If so, log on to Alletess Medical Labs, foodallergy.com. Talk to your doctor about ordering a food allergy test from Alletess Medical Labs today. Foodallergy.com. Make sure the food you're eating isn't what's depleting you. If you're like me, then you believe that it's important to create a healthy living environment. I believe that home surroundings are as vital to a healthy lifestyle as sound nutrition. My good friend Bill Hall is the owner and founder of Landscaping by Hall. His unmatched landscaping skills have been helping residents throughout the greater Boston area to create and maintain healthy living environments for nearly 30 years now. Landscaping by Hall specializes in customized design, retaining walls, walkways, patios, living privacy barriers, decks, and property makeovers. Bill Hall is not only a real pro, he's a quality guy who's truly interested in helping you to attain your goals and visions for a healthier, more beautiful living environment. Bill's approach to landscape design is a holistic one, and that's because Bill's approach to life is a truly holistic one. So, whether you're interested in a simple landscape maintenance or a complete property makeover, I urge you to contact my friend Bill Hall. That's Landscaping by Hall at 617-696-5515 or log on to hallscape.com for a healthier, more beautiful living environment.
1 minute.
1877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Also on the web at carsforkids.com. That's Cars with a K. We're a recognized 501c3 charity organization, so you'll receive a maximum tax deduction. What's more, you'll receive a free vacation voucher of 3 days and 2 nights.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now, back to the Natural Health Show, sponsored by Good Health Natural Foods in Quincy and Hanover.
In Boston and New England, 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless users, it is a free call. Just dial pound 969. Carl from Norwell, welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks. You are on the Natural Health Show.
Yeah, thank you, Doctor. Yes, last week you found that I was deficient in B12, and I'm a runner, and I was just wondering, I ran out and got it that same night, and I've been feeling a lot better.
Great.
I went out and grabbed 1,000 mcg,
Yep.
and I've been taking it each day, but I've been adding meat to my diet, a lot of meat, and I was just wondering how long before I start feeling better, and I'm also afraid to run because I noticed that made me get deficient real fast because I'm a real fast runner, and I noticed that deficient made me go deficient real fast too. I was wondering what your thoughts on that is.
Well, first things first, I think that you can have your levels tested. If you have your family doctor check your levels just to know exactly what your baselines are, and that way when you're on your B12 and you're obviously supporting yourself dietarily, you can give yourself some kind of baseline to work off of, and maybe in your follow-up blood work find as to whether or not you've increased your levels clinically or not, so as opposed to just guessing. So that'd be first thing. You want to bring him in the loop, him or her in the loop, and check that out. Number two, keep in mind here that there's different types of B12. I'd recommend the methyl, M-E-T-H-Y. I hope you got the methyl B12 because only the methyl B12 is going to be really supportive to your nervous system, and that's really an important part of the equation. So that's number two. Number three, I think as far as the the meat eating part of the equation goes, I think that you don't want to overdo it all at once. You don't want to try to make good on getting your B12 levels back in line all in 2 or 3 weeks. It's going to take a little bit of time. You want to be thinking more in terms of 90-day intervals here. So you want to basically take some good quality foods, and obviously some you get into the whole foods areas and the good health areas, and to get some your really clean meats that are basically not contaminated, I guess, number one. And then also you want to make sure that you don't overdo those red meats because they still have arachidonic acid, get a little inflammatory. So 1 serving a week, more than enough. Like I said, don't try to make it all up at one time. The last thing I'd say is I think you can make a big difference if you want to speed things up a little bit within reason and not have to over-consume red meat in your diet. You can get some desiccated liver tablets at the health food store, and you can take let's say 3 of those with each meal, 3 with breakfast, 3 with lunch, 3 with dinner, and that should expedite your goal at trying to get your intrinsic B12 factor built up in a shorter period of time.
Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. I felt like an arborvitae tree, and you water it for the first weeks, and then if you keep watering, it dies. And so I felt like the more I heard over the year, I just threw vegetables and then ran more, and I just kept on hurting. So that's why I felt like the arborvitae tree.
Well, you're obviously you're making a big difference. You take good care of yourself. Like I said, you might just take some of that advice we've recommended and run with that, so to speak. And I'm sure you're going to make a great difference in the not too distant near future. Hang in there.
Okay, thanks a lot, Doctor.
All right, best wishes, Carl. Take care of yourself. Once again, 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless uses free call, pound 969. Joanna, you've probably seen an awful lot of children who have problems with B12 deficiency.
Right.
You probably got some great dietary advice as well for people like Carl, yes?
Yeah, just quickly, too, before we jump into that, I was thinking, and you may have touched upon it when he called last week, running causes inflammation. I mean, runners have more inflammation than most people, so some of his pain could also be from inflammation, because it's a high-impact sport.
Good point.
Does a lot of tearing or whatnot. So, and when you have inflammation, as you know, you can't absorb the other vitamins. So
Great point.
You might want to follow his gut and not run as much for a little while until he feels better.
Maybe a little fast walking or something like that. Something with a little less jarring and a little less intensive impact. Yes. Right.
But as far as the kids, a lot of our kids are not getting their nutrients because they're eating such processed food, and there's several reasons why processed food is not good, but what it does is it masks your body. You can't absorb other things. So most of our kids are not only deficient in the B12 vitamins, but magnesium is a huge thing for kids to be deficient in.
Absolutely.
And so what we see is attention problems, because magnesium is nature's Prozac. And if our kids aren't getting it, it really upsets their system, disrupts their system. And so if I'm working with a family who has a child that I think might have a magnesium deficiency, I start to talk about just taking an Epsom salt bath, because they'll absorb it through the skin that way, because getting them to eat the almonds is a lot harder than just throwing them in a bath full of Epsom salt.
That's great advice. And she is Joanna Silverman. She is the family nutritional consultant from nourishing the peas and pods. And it's great to have you back on here. And I'm sure, too, when children, of course, are approached by someone like yourself to try to make changes, it's not all that easy. A lot of moms that complain and say, hey, look, I hear all this great advice about improving your child's diet and getting their B12 up, etc., but not always that easy to get them to make changes. What is the secret to getting kids to really make those changes? 'Cause a lot of them are resistant. They want to eat the sweet stuff and
Absolutely.
the fast food and whatnot.
And we work in a society that works directly against feeding our children well, feeding anyone well. It depends on the age. That's a really important thing, the age of the child. But I think the most important thing for parents to know is that the person that is in control of what goes into the body and how much is the child. The parent is only in control of what they offer the child.
Great
and there's an eating relationship that goes on between parents and children, and so that's actually the first thing that I look at, because oftentimes the parent is obviously pushing the child to eat certain types of food, and the child pushes back. So you want to make the child feel comfortable about food.
And do you actually recommend homeopathic medicine to the folks you work with?
Yeah, I'm not as versed, but I will send them. I mean, I know it on a personal level for what I've experienced, but I have a homeopath that I work with personally, and we were talking on the break on how amazing children respond to homeopathy.
No question about it.
They're just energetic little beings.
Well, and you bring up a really good point too, Joanna, the idea of you may not feel that well versed, and a lot of folks at home saying, hey, what can I do with homeopathic medicine? Anybody that watched my Fox 25 segment this week knows that I mentioned that on the side of the containers, a lot of the Boiron containers and virtually any of the Highlands, any of these companies that are out there in the marketplace, there's labeling right on the side that tells you what they're for. So there's a medicine recommended for headaches or for bedwetting or insomnia or anxiety or arthritis or whatever the case may be. So again, as you point out, these are safe to work with, and you dish out $6-7 for a remedy that'll last you for maybe 10-15 days or something like that. And the bottom line of it is there's no risk factor here. And in terms of the rewards, most of the research that's coming in here is now starting to suggest that these are well worth the effort to give a shot.
Absolutely.
And that, again, you don't have to, not that we're trying to suggest that folks shouldn't consult a homeopath. Of course, it's a great way to go. They certainly are the experts, and those are the folks that know the most about it. But for you at home that are interested in delving in and feeling comfortable about your use and about the safety of your use, I would not hesitate by any stretch of the imagination. Again, on the side of the containers, there's a very specific description of what that medicine is generally recommended for. And simple enough, safe to use with newborns,
right.
and children, infants, children, old folks at home. So, I mean, it's virtually anybody can safely use homeopathic medicine. Not a problem at all.
Right. There's no dangers. There's no side effects to it.
And as we were saying, too, these studies are just really compelling. I mean, the idea that folks haven't heard a lot about homeopathy, or maybe have and just don't know quite what to do with it. And then other folks who are continuing to hold that sort of skeptical line about their usefulness, really being dispelled in recent years, especially this year in particular. We talked about those two published studies from the Journal of Oncology that indicate, and they're from the University of Texas, the Anderson Cancer Center, where the study basically showed great promise in the treatment of brain and breast cancers with specific medications. And, there are 4 medicines in particular that they worked with, and these medicines, of course, in these studies were diluted in very high concentrations. So, the average person doesn't know how a diluted medicine works, but if I always tell people you want to think about homeopathy almost like you think about vaccines or snake venom, the idea of antivenom. You get bitten by a snake and you got to get a tiny bit of that venom to bring out the strengths and properties of your own immunity, and that's really what homeopathy does. So you may find an herb, for example, that in its natural state causes headaches. Well, we don't want to take that herb. Tea, for example, obviously you want to leave that herb right in the wilds. But homeopathically, that same herb that causes headaches in its own natural state might be used as a homeopathic medicine to, again, trigger the body's defense systems, immunity, and its own basic immune properties to do its own work more efficiently. So that's pretty much how these work. And again, the dilutions are so minute in these things. So
right, and the ones that are really good for kids that are successful are belladonna is really good for fevers, pulsatilla. A lot of kids respond to pulsatilla.
Amazing medicine.
Thuja's good before going for vaccinations. Giving it to the child after to sort of help if there's going to be any side effects.
That's correct.
Might lessen the side effects.
And Thuja was actually one of the medicines that the University of Texas Cancer Center actually did the research on. So Thuja was one of those medicines that
was it?
Yes, indeed, one of those anti-cancer medicines that they researched. So no question about the fact that Thuja is a great medicine. As you pointed out, pulsatilla pulsatilla, great for kids. There are medicines like Ignatia, IGNATIA, when folks have high stress problems that are triggering a lot of emotional imbalances and a lot of irrationality, and folks not able to get a hold of those emotions because of serious periods of acute stress. There's no greater homeopathic way to treat those in my mind than Ignatia, IGNATIA, which, of course, is St. John's wort, Ignatius bean.
Oh, is it? That's my constitution. I didn't know that. What is that saying?
Yeah, there you go. Well, now, come on now. So there are many, many really useful homeopathic medicines. We're going to take a short break. We'll come back to your calls. Again, numbers here is 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless users, it's a free call. Just dial pound 969. You have questions regarding your health, diet, natural medicines, homeopathy, etc. That's what we're here for. So we'll look forward to your calls. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Mornings Move with Jim and Marjorie.
You know what the horrible part of this is? And it is all about us. If the Tea Party had at least one Senate nominee, I thought they'd have none, and they ended up having at least 7. I said I would have Michael Graham's name tattooed on my ass. And, you know, the notion of going through life with Michael Graham behind, whichever cheek it is, it's just, I have to admit, too much for me to bear.
Jim and Marjorie, weekday mornings 7 to 10.
For more than 18 years, Personal Best Karate has been teaching character education, physical fitness, and self-defense skills to people of all ages. Led by 3-time world karate champion Chris Rappold and his highly trained and motivated staff, you're sure to find a one-of-a-kind program that is just right for you and your family. Learn firsthand how Personal Best Karate can transform your life by giving their new amazing introductory offer a try. Now for only $19.95, you'll receive 2 private lessons and an official Personal Best Karate uniform. You'll immediately see just how easy it is to improve your self-confidence, your mental focus, and your health and fitness. The helpful staff at Personal Best Karate will arrange a convenient schedule and design an affordable program to help you achieve your personal best goals. That's Personal Best Karate with locations in Easton, Foxborough, Norton, and Norwood. Check them out on the World Wide Web at personalbestkarate.com or call them at 508-285-5425. Manifest your best at Personal Best Karate.
Hi, this is Laura from Good Health. We're excited to introduce Natural Factors PGX, the new science of appetite control. The PGX program can be a healthy, effective, and easy way to improve eating habits for life. PGX is short for polyglycoplex, a unique complex derived from soluble plant fibers that may change your life. Taken before or with a meal, PGX helps reduce portion size and calories while leaving you feeling completely satisfied. Taking PGX slows the absorption of carbs, helping to curb your appetite. PGX supports healthy weight loss, healthy blood sugar and cholesterol levels already within normal range, and PGX helps reduce cravings. Natural Factors PGX is safe and stimulant-free. It's a proven fact. Diets rarely work. PGX is your final weight loss solution. Discover how Natural Factors PGX can help you reach your perfect weight. Visit us in Quincy or Hanover. Learn more at goodhealthnaturalfood.com. Let us help you maintain that healthy self-image for the rest of your life. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon.
You keep me cool in the summer, warm in the winter. Thank you, Nupro.
Hey, Nick, you know that the federal government is giving up to $1,500 in energy tax credits for homeowners who replace their drafty old windows with new qualified Nupro windows, right?
Yes, Dad.
Did you know that homeowners must act quickly because this tax credit expires on December 31st?
Yes, I did, Dad.
Okay, then your mission is to spread the word to every New England homeowner so they can take advantage of this incredible opportunity.
Hey, New Englanders, don't be left out in the cold. Nupro promises to save you money this winter. Plus, we'll show you how to qualify for up to $1,500 in tax credits. But you need to act fast.
And tell them that Nupro windows can reduce heat loss by up to 40%. Even the Department of Energy says so.
Okay, Dad.
Call right now and we'll give you an additional 15% off every window. You're going to feel good with Nupro. We guarantee it.
Call 1-800-GO-NUPRO.
Call 1-800-GO-NUPRO or visit nupro.com.
Now, back to the Natural Health Show, sponsored by Good Health Natural Foods in Quincy and Hanover.
Welcome back. Elizabeth from Hamilton, welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks. You are on the Natural Health Show.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
My daughter is 10, and she has little tiny, I believe they're called flat warts underneath her bottom lip. And we've tried an acne wash. We took her to the dermatologist, an acne wash, and then an acne cream. So we thought they would kind of scratch up the environment to allow the body to send, whatever, I think what he said is he thought that the body got too used to the warts being there, so she scuffed up the skin, then the body would heal itself.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what I'd recommend homeopathically.
Yeah.
Homeopathically, I would recommend causticum, Causticum, causticum. Ideally, you get a 1M. There are different potencies. There's like 6X and 6C and 12C, and that really sort of implies the dilution. If you see an X dilution, it means it's been diluted 10 times. So if it's a 6X, 6 times 10 is 60 times it's been diluted. 1M is when you get into the really higher, more refined dilutions. But causticum is a great facial wart remedy for especially for children. So when you get into the health food store, try to just pick up whatever dose you can get in the higher end. So you're likely not going to get a 1M. But let's start off with something like maybe a 30C or something like that. 30C. And you want to give her like 3, how old is she?
She's 10.
All right, you want to give her like 3 pellets under the tongue, at least 2 to 3 different times a day, and she'll like them because they're kind of sweet tasting. Little tiny pellets. You want to not touch them with your hands because your hands basically have an acidity that can antidote some of these. So there's a little cap on the top, and it shows you how to dispense them. Very, very easy to do. But I'd recommend the causticum 30C, 3 pellets, 2 to 3 times a day. Give that a good 3 weeks to work, and let's see what happens with that one. We could go to a 1M, which is a higher dose if that doesn't work. But I think at the age of 10, you should do pretty well at a 30C.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And make sure that the eating, too, did you say? Not to eat?
Yeah, we didn't talk much about the diet. Why don't you kick in something?
Oh, well, before the remedy, too, that they want to wait.
Oh, good point, yes. Well, I mean, theoretically, when you're taking a homeopathic remedy, better tolerated and better utilized on an empty stomach. And, of course, you generally want to avoid mint. So if there's toothpaste that has mint, you're probably better off to get, some of Tom's natural toothpaste, like the propolis toothpaste and some of the various Tom's for Maine's toothpaste that do not have mint. Probably a good way to go as well. Also, with a 10-year-old, we don't have to worry about it, but no caffeine at the time of taking your homeopathic medicines either.
You'd hope you can, because it's in Coca-Cola.
Yeah, there you go. Let's hope that's not happening. All right, again, our numbers here in Boston, New England, 617-822-1969, Verizon Wireless users. It is a free call for you all, so just dial pound 96.9. We got Donna on the line from Georgetown. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks. You're on the Natural Health Show.
Hi, I'm a healthy 57-year-old woman who developed asymmetric lymphedema about 3 years ago, sort of out of the blue. I had back surgery a year and a half prior to that, so that was the only maybe cause for it. I've been to a number of physicians and therapists who say this is what I have to deal with, so I'm managing it, but I'm in good health. I walk regularly. I watch my diet. my BMI is probably very reasonable. It's not that I'm overweight. It's no other health issues, but just suddenly swelling in the leg. And I wondered if you had any recommendations.
Well, 2 things. I would recommend something, again, let's stay on the homeopathic theme here for a minute, something called Natmur, M-A-N-A-T, N as in Nancy, A-T as in Thomas, Mur, M-U-R, Natmur. I would start off with a 30X. I would do, 3 pellets under the tongue 3 times a day. Also, you might help yourself with some vitamin B6, which is pyridoxine hydrochloride, and I would do 100 milligrams of B6 with meals, so 1 breakfast, 1 lunch, 1 dinner. But I think those are 2 good natural ways to go at it. Obviously, your diet is an important part of the equation. I hope you eat lots of fresh fruits and vegetables. I trust that you eat very few packaged foods because, unfortunately, packaged foods are extremely high in sodium.
Right.
And you want to be careful of that. Yeah, good. So you're eating pretty well. You're eating a lot of whole foods.
Yes, I've eliminated, I don't add salt to anything, but I've eliminated any additional salt. I've eliminated sodas for the most part. I mean, I've really been careful about my intake in that regard, but it just doesn't, I'm told basically this is it, and there's nothing that's going to help this, so I just...
Well, I think that the bottom line of it is that there are many, I've been doing this work for 30 years, and, there are many occasions over the years I've seen, 60,000 appointments in 30 years. And a lot of the folks that would come in would say, look, I've been told that there's no solution for this problem or for that problem, and that doesn't stop me from trying. So, I've been very pleased and very fortunate with so many folks I've worked with over the years to just kind of try to be a common sense problem solver and to utilize those natural elements that that are, as we keep saying, safe with no side effects, no harm to try, and we try those approaches, and we've been very pleasantly surprised on many occasions. So always keep your mind open and give it your very best effort to be a positive.
That's why I called you.
Good.
To give that another option.
Wonderful. Well, you keep calling, and we'll help you every way we can.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Take care. All right, let's see. Let's give you the number again, 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless users, free call, pound 969. Anita from Reading, welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks. You are on the Natural Health Show.
How are you?
Terrific. How are you?
I'd like some information on H. pylori. I've been told that I have contracted this bacteria, and the first thing that she asked me was how long since I'd been out of the country, and I said it's been like 8 years. And I just wanted to know something about this bacteria because it scared me to death.
Yeah, well, it's nothing to be scared of. You just basically want to make sure that you're doing everything you can to put your body in the best possible healing position. And the way to understand it is to think in terms of pH. You want to think about your potential hydrogen. Some folks are running more of an acidic chemistry than others. Your body really doesn't want to be all that acidic at those tissue levels. I think that you want to be thinking more in terms of alkalizing with more fruits and vegetables again. I usually recommend from a supplement perspective for H. pylori that you use chlorophyll, liquid chlorophyll. You can purchase liquid chlorophyll in any of the natural health stores and take 2 tablespoons and 6 ounces of water 3 times a day. Also, one extremely important equation here is you got to get some good bacteria, probiotic bacteria here. So you might want to think about using Jarrow Formula's EPS, which is an extended probiotic system. So that's 6 tablespoons of liquid chlorophyll a day, 2, 2, and 2 in 6 ounces of water. I'm sorry, 3 tablespoons. No, wait a minute, let me get this right here. 2 tablespoons at breakfast, 2 at lunch, 2 at dinner. That is indeed 6. So 3 times a day is what I'm trying to get out here. And in 6 ounces of water, and also you want to get some good probiotic, good bacteria. And you can do that with something like the Jarrow EPS system, which I'd recommend 1 cap before breakfast, 1 cap before bed, and that's probably about the best recommendations I could make.
Okay, so I would wait until I'm off of this medication they put me on?
Indeed, you would, yes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Very welcome, very welcome. All right, we've got Joanne from Weymouth on the line. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks. You're on the Natural Health Show.
Well, hello, and thank you for taking my call.
A pleasure.
My question is regarding fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue. I'm 63 years old, and I've been suffering with this condition for maybe 15 years. And a lot of the medication I do not take because of the side effects. I'm sick enough, and I said I don't want an additional thing going on with my health.
Yep.
So what can you recommend for me?
Well, there's a couple things. I usually like to start from the perspective of diet and nutrition, and I like to kind of eliminate the problems before we try to add any kind of solutions. So I usually suggest to be very, very careful about any kind of yeast-producing foods. Yeast is a single-cell bacteria in the body, and it actually contributes to a lot of that immunosuppression, wearing down, grinding down that immune system over many, many years. So vinegar, yeasty breads. You want to get the breads from the health food stores like the Food for Life, yeast-free bread, the DeLan's breads. These are breads without yeast. You want to start thinking about implementing. Also, no vinegar, like we said. You want to stay away from too much peanut butter activity because you're talking about a mold-based fruit, a mold-based nut, I should say. So in terms of diet, you want to stick with your basic fruits, veggies, lean meats, and whole grain products. Keep the yeast and vinegar to a dull roar. Number 2, there's some really remarkable supplements that I think are really great immune tonics or tonifiers, things that build up your immune system from some of these agents that unfortunately kind of grind our immune system down. One of them would be something called monolaurin, MONOLAURIN. It's lauric acid from coconut oil, and it's antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial, antiprotozoal. It's pretty amazing. Got some pretty amazing immune properties. But that's 600 milligram caps. I would take at least 3 of those a day at this point. And one other thing made by the same company, actually, which is Ecological Formulas, and that is called Nutricillin, Nutricillin. Nutricillin, I would take 2 of those a day as well. That's a pretty good start.
Okay, where would I buy these products?
Well, you know where Good Health Natural Foods is. You're in Weymouth, so they're not too far from you. There's one in Hanover, there's one in Quincy, downtown Quincy.
Okay, downtown Quincy. And could you give me the address, please?
I believe it's 1637 Hancock Street.
Yep.
And 617-773-4925.
4925. Thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome. Best wishes to you as well.
You know, Mark, there's such a rise in the chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia, and I think one thing we don't look at often, you kind of touched upon it, we could do a whole show on it, so I don't want to get into it too much, is the toxins in our environment.
No question about that.
From the air fresheners in our car to the off-gassing of our furniture, that has a direct impact on people's systems.
Absolutely true. Well, and I think the other part of the chronic fatigue mystery is, you know, there's so many folks that I've worked with over the years with chronic fatigue that have adrenal insufficiency. You know, what does that mean? It means that folks, our stress levels have just gotten beyond the pale here. So people, you know, the stress that you think you're able to contend with, unfortunately, you're likely not. And you've got to find new strategies to support not just your body and your cells, but to find new strategies to really support your mind and your spirit.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of people getting drained and depleted out there in ways that they just can't even quantify, in ways that medicine has a hard time understanding even, because you can't really quantify an emotion, etc. So it's really, really important to take advantage of so many wonderful, wonderful programs out there that help people with regards to biofeedback, Tai Chi, meditation, etc. These are all equally important in the chronic fatigue syndrome reality.
Right.
And folks really need to appreciate that. You can't just do it all with a pill. All right, let's see here. We've got a whole bunch of calls to contend with here. Why don't we get to somebody who's been pretty patient? We've got Tina on the line from Danvers. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks. You are on the Natural Health Show.
Hi, I'm calling because I have a terrible problem with psoriasis.
Mm-hmm. Psoriasis?
Yes.
Okay. Well, here's what I would tell you. Again, you've heard me say this, so forgive me for repeating myself, but there is a reason why certain sponsors are on this particular broadcast, because we really celebrate the work they do and feel they're huge difference makers, and we share the philosophy of their wonderful work. And one of the companies I'm referring to now, of course, is Alletes, A-L-L-E-T-E-S-S, Alletes Medical Laboratories. If you want to go online and check out foodallergies.com, foodallergies.com. They have an amazing site, and they have an amazing business, and what they do is they essentially evaluate your blood for 96 of the most common foods that we all eat on a daily basis. And they're going to find out to what degree, and I mean very, very precisely to what degree you may be sensitive to any one of those foods, and perhaps numbers of them. So one of the first things I always tell people is psoriasis. You're dealing with a metabolic disorder. Your body's having a hard time cleaning something out or detoxing something out of the body. The skin is what we refer to as the final eliminative organ of the body. When all your other elimination systems are backed up, the skin is the last one to actually give you your negative feedback. So it's really important for you to think in terms of what it is that you're building up in your system that's creating this toxic buildup, and you got to get to the bottom of it. And they put you on an elimination rotation program. They got a very detailed booklet they can share with you as to how to do that, and they really walk you through it very thoroughly. So get on the foodallergies.com site, check out their site, and maybe sit down with your physician and talk about getting yourself in there for a little testing, and you'll be glad you did.
And taking away the nightshade vegetables.
Well, that's clearly going to be part of the equation. But these tests, these immune globulin G tests, are so detailed and so specific about what your body is inflaming on or inflaming from.
Right, instead of the general.
Yeah, absolutely. You remove those inflammatory foods very specifically because the clinical results the test will give you. Is that good for you?
Yes, I've been using all kinds of ointments and whatever, and they haven't done a thing.
No, I'm afraid that I would not feel confident about dealing with it topically. I think you're going to have to really get inside that wonderful chemistry years and make it a whole lot happier. All right.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Good luck to you, and thank you so much for calling. Of course, we are the Natural Health Show, and Joanna Silverman is here on board to help me out. Thank you so much. And my name is Mark Mincola, and if you want to join us with any of your questions, 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless users, freebie, pound 969. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Friend us on Facebook. Link up at 969bostontalks.com.
We all know that kids aren't as fit as they used to be. There once was a time when kids spent hours riding bikes, jumping rope, playing ball in the backyard.
Oh, I really like this commercial.
World of virtual reality. One thing's for sure, today's kids still love to dance. If you want to introduce your kids to fun fitness with a purpose, may I suggest Lisa's Dance Studio in Quincy. Lisa's Dance Studio is now accepting registration for dance lessons ages 2 through 17. Whether your child is interested in ballet, tap, jazz, hip-hop, vocal groups, or musical theater, Lisa's Dance Studio has an affordable class plan and a convenient schedule to meet your needs. Help your child to get fit, healthy, and inspired. Turn off that TV and put those video games in the closet. Call Lisa's Dance Studio in Quincy at 617-471-5678. That's 617-471-5678. Hey, Natural Health Nation, I'd like to introduce you to a one-in-a-million friend of mine. Kevin Kearns is a personal trainer who works with the likes of Hollywood stars like Kevin James, as well as professional and world-class athletes like Marcus Davis, Jorge Gurgel, and Alberto Crane. The best part of this story is that Kevin is eagerly awaiting to help you attain your lifelong health and fitness goals. Kevin's patented Burn with Kearns system works not only for high-level athletes like UFC fighters, hockey, baseball, and basketball players, but for students, soccer moms, and average Joes who really want to look and feel their best. The Burn with Kearns approach is a fusion of core training, strength, martial arts, and yoga to build a more fit, healthier you in body, mind, and spirit. Trust me when I say Kevin's is a truly holistic system. So, whether you train one-on-one with Kevin himself or one of his certified trainers, attend his seminars, or purchase his best-selling books or DVDs, it all represents money well spent to help you attain far more fitness results. Call Kevin at 508-541-3281 or log on to his website at www.burnwithkearns.com. Turn the corner and burn with Kearns.
Hi, this is Catherine from Jarrow Formulas. We can be found on the web at jarrow.com, JARROW.com. Jarrow is a leading manufacturer of dietary supplements. We offer over 300 vitamins, minerals, enzymes, and probiotics. At Jarrow, our mission is to provide superior nutrition and formulation. We team with industry leaders and top academic researchers to bring you quality you can depend on. This is exactly why we have partnered with Mark Mincola. Mark brings cutting-edge science and education to his listeners and clients, and we are proud to be part of his team. We look forward to bringing you more information about specific products over the year with Mark and exciting topics. You can buy Jarrow Formulas at a health food store near you. Find out more about Jarrow at jarrow.com. That's JARROW.com.
Now, back to the Natural Health Show, sponsored by Good Health Natural Foods in Quincy and Hanover.
Alrighty, welcome back. And just before we get started, I want to let everybody know how much I enjoyed meeting them at the Natural Expo East yesterday at the Boston Convention Center. Great event, great weekend. Candida did some wonderful work there, of course, as usual. Saw her buzzing all around the place.
She's always buzzing.
She covered every inch of that place in about 5 minutes. But some great folks at Boiron that I met yesterday, and a lot of the folks at the various vitamin companies and whatnot. Great meeting all the homeopathic people and all the vitamin people. There was really enjoyable. Anyway.
So, Mark, I want to touch base quickly. Last week on the show, a lot of people had questions about genetically modified food, and you have a great article in Healthy Living magazine about that. Timely.
Yes, speaking of Candida, of course, My Healthy Living magazine is right in front of me here, and that's now being released. So she did a wonderful job on that. But you're right, I did an article called Personal Consciousness and Responsible Food Technology, which talks about genetically modified food. Of course, 45% of our corn and 85% of our soy, 75% of all processed foods in our supermarket has been genetically modified, and folks don't even know that. So a lot of the genetically modified food that's out there, which is, of course, most of the food that's out there, folks don't even know that it is indeed genetically modified, and for all intents and purposes, there's no labeling to indicate that.
Well, on the PLU, if you find the number 8, you don't want it.
That's a very good point. And
9 is the organic, 8 is the it's
9
not
is organic. That's right.
We don't know where it came from.
So in this article, we talk a great deal about a lot of the United States Department of Agriculture tension and the developing tensions in those areas around farming, agriculture, and food, and the general consumer public. And there's a lot of, again, growing tension in there, and a lot of government influence that's moving in to, unfortunately, kind of support the corporate world and of Monsanto, and not so much you and I. Big surprise there, right?
Or our children. That's who I'm really worried about.
Well, of course, I'm worried for all of us. I think that we all need to get in tune with this reality and to get on board with trying to make a difference in preserving the quality of our food. You know, of course, in Europe, it's virtually against the law to do this stuff to your food that in this country is being done wholesale, unfortunately. So
yeah, it's important for parents to educate themselves on the risks of these foods.
So true indeed. So folks want to pick up the Healthy Living magazine. And Candida did a wonderful job on that. But in there is the article that I published on personal consciousness and responsible food technology. Thank you so much for bringing that up. And I'm going to try to bring this into Fox if we can, and maybe do a segment on the genetic modification of our foods. I think it's a really important topic we need to continue to bring into the folks' public awareness out there so the folks can make better decisions and get involved.
Yeah, you're doing a good job with that because that's what we need.
Thank you so much. All right, we've got some calls. We got a whole bunch of them we got to look at here and tend to business. So let's take a peek here. Kate from Natick, you're on 96.9. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for your time and your expertise.
Thank you so much.
I am going to be 46 this winter. My main problem is I've been having erratic breakouts of hives for about 15 months.
Right.
I just had some blood work done with my doctor, and the blood test came back negative for all the food. I've been trying to journal the best I can to try to get a hold on this.
Okay, well, before we go any further, if I may interrupt just for a moment, there's two different food tests. There's an immune globulin E, and there's immune globulin G. Which of the two did he run?
He doesn't say in the letter, so I can't answer that question
I
for
think
you.
you need to track it down. That's a really important distinction because immune globulin E is what's typically run, and that only represents 1.5% of all food allergies.
Okay.
If they run the immune globulin G, such as I spoke about earlier and often on this broadcast that we talk about regarding Alitas Medical Labs, you're talking about 80 million Americans that are being affected. So
okay,
big
good
difference.
to know. The only thing that came back slightly positive was an ANA titer for lupus.
I see.
And I don't know how concerned to be. All I know is I'm frustrated because I don't know what to eat and what not to eat and exactly what to do. I'm on an H1 and an H2 blocker, but that's only managing symptoms, and I don't want to manage symptoms. I want to be healthy.
Well, I'm going to give you a 3-week experiment.
Okay.
All right. For 3 weeks, I'm going to have you stay away from all the inflammatory prostaglandin foods. So you want to avoid any kind of dairy, red meat, peanuts, and egg yolks. Not the whites, but just the egg yolks. So avoid those 4 things for 3 weeks. Also, during those 3 weeks, I want you to get to the health food store and purchase a homeopathic called Apis, A-P-I-S. And I'd like you to take a 30X of Apis, and you want to put 3 pellets under the tongue 3 times a day, and get back to us in 3 weeks, see if that made any difference.
Okay. Tell me again, yolks, dairy, meat, and...
You want to stay away from red meat, yolks, dairy, and peanuts, peanut butter, any kind of peanut products.
Okay.
The only other thing I would tell you if you really want to seal the deal is to be careful about things like vinegar.
Okay.
All right?
Well, thank you so much.
And also trying to go organic with the vegetables so you're not getting the pesticides in there.
Wonderful.
Joanna's always on the ball with the organic comments, and she's right on the money. Absolutely true.
Money it will take to get the organics, but it's worth it.
It's worth it. Save it on the back end, right?
Yes. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thanks for calling.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. Let's see here. I'm trying to read. What does that say? Yes, a muscle testing this coming Saturday, the 23rd. That's right. I should mention real quickly that I have a program that I've been doing twice a year, every 6 months. A lot of folks who are allied health professionals, acupuncturists and homeopaths and whatnot, but also just regular folks out there that are interested in taking control of their own health. I think a really important point. I have a new book that's going to be coming out, should be late spring or early summer next year, called Customized Health. Customized Health. So the idea of customized health and healing is really important. I think there's so many broad spectrum approaches to don't eat this, eat that, or whatever. What I'm really talking about in this upcoming class is teaching people how to specifically systematize and individualize what works specifically for you to customize your nutrition program. Anyway, folks interested in doing that, they can contact Candida 781-834-2728. That's a pretty easy number to remember, 781-834-2728. Love to have you on board, and it's an all-day 9 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock intensive seminar that I'll be doing again in the South Shore this coming Saturday. So there you have that. Let's get back to these calls.
Okay.
Let's see here. How about Ellen from Melrose? Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Terrific. How are you?
Good, thank you. Good. I just tuned in. I'm actually driving, but I have what I suspect might be a dairy intolerance, something that I've been dealing with off and on for quite a while, but I've noticed that really pretty recently it seems much worse, and my symptoms are that I just get very filled up in my sinuses and like this constant nasal drip, and I have to blow my nose, and it's a nuisance kind of thing. It's not as though I have pain or any other kind of symptoms, but I'm wondering if it could be that or other food allergies that I've developed. I'm 56. I'm getting older. I know things change. But
So, Ellen, the one thing that you're experiencing is more congestion?
Yes, yeah, like it really, kind of filling up and blowing my nose a lot. And it seems to, I'm fine, and then I might eat something that, is dairy, milk, cheese, any kind of dairy product, and those seem to trigger it more.
Okay, so the best and easiest thing to do, of course, Mark talked about the testing that you can do for the blood work, but if you have a strong indication it might be one thing, is you can go on what we call a rotation diet, which would be just to take the dairy out for 7 days, so no dairy in any form, and then on the 8th day, you want to add it back in, and if the symptoms come back, you have your answer. And it's really, it's that simple. If it doesn't, then you want to look at the other high allergens, like citrus, soy bothers a lot of people, and then you go into that directions. But I think your gut's telling you it probably is the dairy, and cow's milk is perfect for cows.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
yes.
Well, and I might also suggest that you take a little Google peek at food allergy, www.foodallergies.com. They might check that out because foodallergy.com is the Allotest Lab site, and it's a very, very good site. All right. Hopefully,
I just tuned in, and I'll definitely take a look at that.
Hopefully you check that out. That'd be great. And thank you so much for calling. And I can tell because John is making those funny shapes with his hands in there that it's break time. So we're going to take a short little breather and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
If you're talking about it, we're talking about it. Your talk. 96.9 Boston Talks.
Are you getting your recommended 8 cups of water per day? And are you certain that you're getting the healthiest, highest quality of drinking water available? You know, there are so many drinking waters out there that it's become extremely difficult to distinguish the really pure drinking waters from the pretenders. Hi, this is Mark Mincola. Simpson Spring Water has been a pure drinking water of choice since long before the Native Americans settled near the spring for its remarkable clarity. Bottled at the source and delivered right to your home, Simpson Spring has produced its locally grown bounty of healthy, refreshing drinking water since 1878. Simpson Springs is a local, privately owned spring water company whose priority it is to serve you with the highest quality of pure, healthy drinking water. To order Simpson Springs water, call Roberta at 508-238-4472. That's 508-238-4472. Please make sure you mention the Natural Health Show. Remember, when it comes to your drinking water of choice, buy fresh, buy pure, buy local, buy Simpson Springs.
Now, back to the Natural Health Show, sponsored by Good Health Natural Foods in Quincy and Hanover.
All right, we've got Joy on the line from Boston. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks. You're on the Natural Health Show.
Hello, and thank you for your show.
Most
I wanted to find out what homeopathic would be good for weight loss and what alternative would also be good for blood pressure.
Well, first of all, I think I would recommend for blood pressure, so if you want to take a look at something called C9 peptide, do a little research on that. But actually, when you get into the health food store, there's a product, a specific brand by Dr. Michael Murray, M-U-R-R-A-Y, and it's called fish peptides or ACE peptides. It's very easy to find in virtually all the health food stores out there, but Dr. Michael Murray's peptides. And it's really about an isolated little protein that they found in the bonita fish. We talked about it a little bit last week, and it's been studied pretty extensively, and it's a pretty remarkable product. So that's what I'd recommend for that, not a homeopathic medicine. Also, I doubt that I'd be really confident to get behind homeopathy when it comes to weight loss. I think the single most important thing you want to do there is really limit the amount of starch in the diet, the amount of insulin in the diet, increase the vegetables, the fruits, the proteins, and only consume 1 starch a day, and I think you'll definitely see some results there. I always tell folks 2 teaspoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of oil, 3 proteins, and the rest of it is all basically fruits, vegetables, and 1 serving of either baked potato with skin, sweet potato with skin, or brown rice.
Thank you.
My pleasure, and good luck to you on that. All right, and wow, this time kind of flies by, everybody here. What the heck? You also wanted to mention a couple things there.
I'm really excited. I'm doing nutrition consults with ISIS ISIS Parenting now.
Oh, yes.
And they're coming to Hanover, which I'm excited about because it's the South Shore where we're from. But there's two events I want to kind of plug for them, and one I'm involved in personally. So I'm doing a Raising a Healthy Eater workshop at ISIS in the Prudential in Boston on Thursday, October 28th. Mm-hmm. And if you want to register, you can go to my website. It's www.nourishingthepod.com. And then also they're bringing Dr. Alan Green, who writes the book Feeding Baby Green, which is it's my number one book that I recommend for families. So he's coming to speak for 2 hours, and you can also sign up for that on my website as well.
That's terrific stuff. So while we're at it here, why don't you let everybody out there know what your information is in terms of contact info?
Okay, so I can be reached at 781-710-9290, and then again, www.nourishingthepeasandthepod.com. So if you have some interest in working with your kids or with you as a mom, give me a call and we can see how I can help you out.
And she is spectacular. I can tell that, folks. She's really, really great at working with those kids and working with moms and dads and getting those whole families on the right page as far as natural eating and taking good care of the self.
Yeah, thanks.
So give her a holler. And, of course, anybody interested in the customized natural healing program that we talked about, you can reach Candida. I'm doing that all-day seminar from 9 to 3 this coming Saturday. And her number is 781-834-2728, and she'd be happy to get you all set up for all that business. And also, folks, anybody interested in watching these podcasts, they're basically cataloged and archived on our website, and so are all the Fox 25 segments as well, and that's at www.maxhealing.com, just one word, maxhealing.com. And
now, you're on Fox next week or the week after?
No, actually, just finished a segment this past week, and we'll be on about 10 days. So a week from this coming Thursday, we'll be back on Fox 25. Those are on at 8:11. So just shortly, about 10 minutes after 8 on Thursday morning. And that'll be a week from this coming Thursday. Absolutely. And, of course, folks, want to stay tuned to Woody and Abby, of course, Right Turn Radio, one of my favorite programs. I love listening to their remarkable information regarding addiction, and from a really creative perspective. It's a fun show on top of it. And I hope folks stay tuned to Woody and Abby on Right Turn Radio. And, of course, anybody interested in contacting us regarding upcoming seminars, etc., you can do that by getting in touch with our website, again, as we said, at maxhealing.com. Until next Sunday at 5 o'clock, this is Mark Mincola reminding you all, please be wise, be aware, be well. Make it a good night. Thank you.